So for those of you who may not know, New York is gerrymandering their own state. It is currently sits at an 18-8 Democrat advantage in the federal House seats. And now it is going to be a 23-3 advantage in the federal House seats in the state of New York. So for those who think that when the Democrats do something like this, that it isn't going to come back and really kick us in the ass in other places, like Florida, where we will be gerrymandered very, very nicely by the wonderful GOP. This is something that needs to end. But unfortunately, the number one seat that we had been looking at as a seat that we really felt could be flipped non-corporate from corporate to non-corporate was New York's 3rd congressional district. And now it looks like a little fly in the ointment has been thrown in there. So whoever would like to jump in and share with us what's going on, because we know that some other interested parties have decided to get into the race after somebody who is on the show tonight put in all of the legwork to make this a flippable seat to being a non-corporate Democratic seat.
Yeah, talk about what's going on there, because this is all very disappointing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me go ahead and just jump in quickly. Let me just say hello quickly to Rob and to Joe. I didn't know Joe was going to be on tonight, so very excited to see Joe and Rob always. As you said, I'm very lucky. I get to see them pretty frequently up here in New York. But regarding New York 3, so here's the thing, right? It's a tough one because the federal government failed to implement a gerrymandering ban, right? And we do know that there will be states across the country that do gerrymander the heck out of their state. So it's a tough place to be in, right? To say, well, we shouldn't fight back, right? Because I think that many of us on the more left side of the Democratic Party are constantly voicing our opinions to push back, fight harder, fight back, stop rolling over, right? So I think there's an element of, this is part of them fighting back, and really it's a failure at the federal level. That being said, look, there were many ways that New York could have redrawn the districts. And I think they certainly could have done it in a way where, representation was a little bit more equitable. And like what I mean by that is, like, for example, in my district, and for those of you who don't know New York, you may not know that the traffic here is horrendous and it can be very difficult to get around from one end of the district to the other. It could take, if you're lucky, half a day, but likely more. So that means let's take a holiday time. Let's say it's Hanukkah and you want to get to a menorah lighting in several, different areas of the district. And it's just not really going to be possible. Instead of maybe hitting 2 or 3 tonight, you're probably hitting 1. So who suffers, right? You're in your communities less. So that's really what I have been really concerned about. I spoke out against it for that reason. I mean, I feel very confident, with what the work that we have laid and the work that we have done in Long Island and Queens. I know that we're going to bring that same level of excitement and passion and organizing to the Bronx and to Westchester. And, it's already happening in those communities. So I think it's a really wonderful opportunity for us to bridge together and fight. But, I'll just do a plug now. If anyone would like to chip into my campaign, we probably need a boat to row across the Sound. So, every dollar helps.
And what is the website, so we can get it up right now so that everybody knows if they are?
Yes. So you can visit my website at darrigo2022.com, DARRIGO 2022, or you can simply go to donatetomelanie.com and make a contribution there as well.
Yeah, guys, support Melanie, because there is a lot of infighting and nonsense and backstabbery, from what I understand, going on. That's extremely disappointing to me. And, I always feel like I'm in this position where I would never want to suggest to somebody not to run or not to get into a race. But there's just certain times when the people are doing it out of very self-serving reasons, because if it was really about the people, then you would appreciate the demographic and the work that's already been done in your district. Like, you would recognize that you don't need to be in that lane. There's somebody in that lane. And so there seems to be a loyalty problem up there. So, I mean, is that what you were telling me?
If you want to see just how bad left politics can be, see how opportunistic some people can be when certain things come around.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's
Bob, Joe, whoever wants to hop in and let us know exactly what's going on, because again, this district has now changed. It's now including, as Melanie alluded to, parts of the Bronx and parts of Westchester. That is amazing.
That's far.
So yeah.
Well, it actually goes to the Connecticut border now. So we're 5 counties, from Suffolk County to Queens, to go over a bridge, head into the Bronx, and then up there. And it's just a smaller portion on the coast. And look, as I said, we're very focused on delivering for people, and we think that there's a lot of opportunity, particularly on climate resiliency and other issues, to make a big impact. But I will go ahead and pass the mic to my friends Joe and Bob.
So I will say, I gave testimony to the commission before their first set of mats about because I did run in 2020 for the state assembly. And the district I ran in Assembly District 15, I used to joke about how it was a drawing by a 3-year-old Picasso. That's how bad it looked. And it just looks a little better now. A lot of people are asking for the districts to be, to keep communities together, because many times communities were split. Where I live, you had 3 state senators representing my community. Other communities, they were so split up that you could basically say their vote didn't matter. And that was something that many people were concerned about. Like, they didn't go out to vote because, why vote? It doesn't matter. No one comes here. No one visits me. No one talks to me. And, we want our representatives to do that. And, Melanie's a great example. She's out there. She listens to people. She understands. I was saying earlier that she has a life experience to understand anybody from any part of this district, even the newer parts. So if there's anyone who could represent the entirety of this district, it's Melanie. And I'm not just saying that to, prop her up. It's true. I've seen her in action. And with this district, CD3, I find it strange because they said they wanted to include the whole the shoreline district. But if that was the case, you would have included the entire North Fork, which would have been Suffolk and Nassau County. Why didn't you do that? And I can't see the logic saying, well, we wanted to go up and around because you could have done that. If that was really the reasoning you had for this, then you could have stretched this district out all the way out to the North Fork and just did, Suffolk, Nassau, and Queens, because they definitely did that with CD1. CD1 goes all the way out, I think, from Montauk to Plainview, which is like the town next to me.
Yeah.
So I called that the coffee stain. Yeah. Somebody just spilled their coffee and decided to draw a district. So it's very obvious that these districts were drawn with a specific purpose. I do believe in fairness and competitiveness within a district. I think it's very important to have the right type of representative for the people that live within that district. And it's hard to argue sometimes that we're going in the right direction with our democracy when we see things like this. So, but I am confident, even with the way it is drawn and the way things are, we're going to have, a great representative in Melanie Dorigo.
I think so too. And yes, we are Roger Meadows. New York Health Act. Yes. We definitely want to see the New York Health Act passed. We actually have been talking about that for a while on this show, and I think it'll be like the best bet we have. I didn't think California was going to happen. I mean, I was hopeful, but I didn't think California was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, and there are some great progressives that are running right now at the state level. Including Jermaine Williams is trying to become the next governor. And so we'll see what ultimately ends up happening. But Bob, please share with us your thoughts on, the way this whole thing is shaping up, because it looks like we'll just say somewhat popular state senators decided to get into the race and is already trying to line up support from some of the heavy hitters, which is unfortunate that they're already doing that. There hasn't been a debate yet, hasn't been anything. And when you put your thumb on the scale the way that they're doing, it's almost like, okay, well, then you're proving that it doesn't matter if you're progressive. It just proves that you're there to play politics, and your concern is not who's going to serve the district best. You don't even know who's going to serve the district best. You don't even know who's running. You just decide, all right, my friend's running, so now let's just put our thumb on the scale. And that's the type of thing that we're really, in the progressive movement, we're really trying to get away from. What is your assessment in terms of where things are at right now?
Well, my heart is with Melanie, period. And regardless of how they drew these lines, I'm going to be supporting her. And she has the support of lots of people. So I'm not really worrying about who else is in the race. People have to stand by what their positions are. We know Melanie's positions, and I'm very confident that she's going to be a champion of Medicare for all, knowing as much as she does about that as anybody. And whether or not we get the New York Health Act passed or not, eventually we need a single payer healthcare system for the whole country. So, my money's with Melanie, with any of these candidates running. And she's been articulating that, since 2020, since she first ran. So I'm not really worried so much about maybe the district lines as much as maybe Melanie is. I get, from a candidate's perspective, you got to, consider everything. But she's got a big backing on Long Island. Literally hundreds of progressives are behind her. And we're going to come out, all of us. And now that your district actually comes out to where I live, I'll be out there in Stony Brook for you.
All right. Well, petitioning is coming. Petitioning is coming. So
Joe's already warned me I have to do lots of petitioning. He's already given me some homework. And I'm going to be getting some volunteers working with me as well. So we got you covered out here in Stony Brook. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.